Welcome back, guys. Tonight's story is one of betrayal, deception, and a man who refused to be played for a fool. Some guys, when they catch their wife crossing a line, they react on impulse, yelling, accusing, demanding answers. But not this guy. No, he played the long game. And trust me, she never saw it coming. Buckle up because this one is going to be a ride. It started on an ordinary Thursday. Or at least it should have been. I wasn't supposed to be home yet. I had an extra meeting that got canceled last minute. So I parked down the street, deciding to surprise Emma. Maybe take her out for dinner. A nice little break from routine. But before I even made it to the front door, I heard something that stopped me in my tracks. Laughter. Hers. Light, flirtatious. Playful in a way I hadn't heard in months. And then another voice. Jake. Our neighbor. I moved quietly, stepping around to the backyard, staying out of sight. And there she was, Emma, leaning against the patio table, her hand brushing against his arm as she threw her head back, smiling. And then she said it. "Oh, stop it, Jake, you're such a flirt." A flirt. The way she was looking at him, the way her body language screamed open, receptive, interested. I knew that look. I missed that look, but she wasn't giving it to me. I stood there, hidden, watching, feeling something in my chest tighten. But I didn't explode. I didn't storm out there and make a scene. No, I took a breath, adjusted my face, and walked inside like I hadn't seen a damn thing. That night, I played my role. Kissed her hello. Asked about her day. She didn't mention Jake. Not once. But me? I had already made up my mind. See, some people think revenge is about lashing out, about rage. But real revenge, the kind that lasts, it's built slow, deliberate, and it starts by making the other person want what they took for granted. So that's exactly what I set out to do. Step 1, become a man she once craved, but just out of her reach. First, I made small changes. Started working out more, dressing sharper. Carry myself differently. Confident, detached. Women notice things like that. And Emma? Oh, she noticed. She'd glance at me when I changed my shirt, linger when I walked past. But I didn't give her more than a smirk. And then I introduced my wild card. Natalie, an old friend, someone Emma never saw as a threat, until I made sure she would. But this was just the beginning, because while Emma was starting to feel the shift, she had no idea that she was walking straight into my hands. And trust me, when she realized what was happening, it was already too late. There's something about watching someone fall into a trap they don't even know exists. It's almost poetic. And Emma, she was stepping right in. After that night, I started making moves. The gym, the sharper clothes, those were just the warm-up. Now, it was time to make her feel the shift. So I became unavailable. I didn't pull away completely. That would be too obvious. No, I was still affectionate, but just a little less. The kisses weren't quite as lingering. The eye contact, a fraction of a second shorter. The casual touches, rarer, and it drove her crazy. One night, as I was getting ready for bed, she sat on the edge of the mattress, watching me. "You've been busy lately." I glanced at her, shrugged. "Yeah, just got a lot going on." Then I turned off the light and went to sleep. No reassurance, no explanation, just a small taste of the distance she never saw coming. And that was only step 1. Step 2, Natalie. Now, let's be clear, I wasn't cheating. But the idea of another woman, that's a powerful thing. So I made sure Emma noticed. It was subtle at first. A little chuckle on my phone. A smirk. A text message that I left open just long enough for her to see Natalie's name. Then, one evening, as we were having dinner, my phone buzzed. I picked it up, read the message, and laughed under my breath. Emma's fork clinked against her plate. "Who's that?" I glanced up like I hadn't noticed her watching. "Oh, just Natalie." She said something funny. And then I went back to eating. No explanation. No extra details. Just enough to let the thought fester in her mind. And trust me, it did. Over the next few days, I kept it going. A smile on my phone. A casual, "Oh, I ran into Natalie today. She looked great." Nothing damning. Nothing that crossed the line. But in Emma's mind, that didn't matter. Because suddenly, she was the one feeling insecure. She was the one who started reaching for me more. Asking questions. Watching me closer. And me? I just let her wonder. Because when you flip the script on someone who thought they had control, the real fun begins. But here's the thing about games like this. You have to be careful. Because sometimes when you push too hard, too fast, things take a turn you never see coming. But the thing about pushing someone to the edge, you never know exactly how they'll react. So I hatched a plan that took an unexpected turn. The game shifts. And trust me, you won't see this coming. Jealousy is a funny thing. At first, it simmers beneath the surface. Easy to ignore, easy to justify. But let it build long enough, and it turns into something else entirely. Emma wasn't just noticing my distance anymore. She was feeling it. And that's when she started changing. It started small, an extra effort in her appearance, wearing the perfume she knew I liked. Then more desperate, she started staying close, trying to pull me into conversations, laughing a little too loud at my jokes. And then one night, she snapped. It was late. I was in bed, scrolling through my phone. Emma was next to me, lying stiff on her side. Then, she turned over. "Are you still attracted to me?" I looked up, meeting her eyes. And for the first time in weeks, she wasn't smug, wasn't in control. She was insecure, and I loved it. But I wasn't done playing yet. So I gave her a soft smile, leaned in, brushed a strand of hair from her face. And then, just before our lips could touch, I pulled away. "I'm tired. Good night, babe." And then I turned off the light. The next morning, she was different. The playful flirtation she had with Jake, gone. Now, she was the one chasing me. And I let her. Dinner dates, she suddenly wanted a plan. New lingerie she hadn't worn in years. Long, lingering stares when she thought I wasn't looking. But the best part? One night, we were at a neighborhood barbecue. And Jake, the very man she had been flirting with, came over. I watched the way he smiled at her, the way his eyes lingered. But this time, Emma barely acknowledged him. She was too busy watching me. I had flipped the script completely. And now, she was playing my game. But here's the thing about control. It's addictive. And the deeper I pulled her in, the more desperate she became to have me back. The question was, when would I finally let her? Or would I? I had taken control. I had made Emma crave me the way I once craved her attention. She had become obsessed, desperate, doing everything she could to get me back. But the thing about revenge, it's never just about payback. It's about making them feel what you felt. It was time. I had let her dangle long enough. Emma was clinging to me by now, touching me every chance she got, staring at me across the room, waiting for some kind of sign. I could see the frustration in her eyes, the desperation, the fear that I had moved on without her. So, one night, I let her win. I let her pull me in, let her press her body against mine, let her whisper how much she missed me. I let my lips brush against her ear as I whispered back, "Now you know how it feels." She froze. I felt her body tense in my arms. And then I pulled back, just enough to look in her wide, confused eyes. And that's when I told her. I told her I heard everything that day. I told her how I watched as she laughed with Jake, how I saw the way she touched him. I told her how I decided, right then and there, that she was going to pay for making me feel small, for making me feel replaceable. Her face went pale. "You planned this," she whispered. I just smirked, because yes, I planned every second of this game. And she walked into it without even realizing. She opened her mouth, probably to argue, maybe to beg. But I stopped her. "You wanted to make me jealous? You wanted to see if I'd fight for you." I leaned in one last time. "Now you know what it's like to lose me." And then I walked away. Did I forgive her? Maybe. Did I take her back? let her win me over after all? That, I'll let you wonder. But one thing's for sure, she never flirted with another man again. And that, my friends, is how you flip the script. Thank you for joining me on this twisted ride. If you love this story, be sure to subscribe, because next we have another tale of secrets, betrayal, and the ultimate revenge. Until then, remember, the best payback is making sure they never forget you.